Good morning, everyone. This is Debbie Royce, Empire State Development's Corporate Secretary. I'd like to welcome everyone to this morning's meeting. Before we formally begin, I would ask that everyone please mute your lines unless you're speaking. And as we have our directors joining by video this morning, we'll just do a quick roll call before we get started. Steve Cohen.
Present.
Howard Zemsky.
Present.
Hilda Rosario Escher.
Present.
Eric Gertler.
Present.
Cesar Perales.
Present.
And designee for the Department of Financial Services, Linda Sun.
Present.
Thanks so much for joining us today. And Chairman Cohen, you're ready to begin.
Great. Good morning, everybody. Glad to see everybody. So nice to meet in these intimate occasions on Zoom. I now call to order the meeting of the directors of the New York State Urban Development Corporation doing business as Empire State Development for Thursday, September 21st, 2021. Before we get started, I will ask everyone to please mute your microphone or telephone until you are ready to speak. Also, for the record, I will ask that anyone wishing to speak, please be sure to state your name before you begin. I'd like to note for the record that due to public health concerns and as authorized by an executive order of the governor, this meeting will be conducted by video and teleconference. I will also note that the public was given an opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their written comments by 4:30 p.m. yesterday. I'd like to state that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda items. As always, the directors have received the written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask any questions at any time during the presentations. At this time, I will ask the directors whether anyone has a potential conflict of interest with respect to any item or items on the agenda. If so, I will ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record, and we will then remind you to recuse yourself from any discussion or vote with regard to such item or items. And I will note that I am recused on agenda item 2C, the NYU East Steam Pipeline Capital Projects. Anyone else? Just me. How lovely. The first item on today's agenda is approval of the minutes of the December 17th, 2020 directors meeting. If I can have a motion.
Move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 The meeting minutes from December 17th, 2020 are now approved. The motion carries. We'll now move to the report section of today's agenda, and I will, with great pleasure and anticipation, ask Eric Gertler to start things off with his president's report. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, Chairman Cohen, but as you know, I've tried to spend my career trying to lower expectations. You're not helping me here, so.
But you always, in my mind, exceed anyway, so it's I look forward.
Well, thank you, Chairman Cohen. Thank you, Chairman Emeritus Zemsky, and my fellow board members, and good morning to everyone. And this is our first board meeting of the year, so I hope everyone had a safe and healthy holiday season. And I've had a chance to reflect on the past year. And I used this line when we did our agency call, but the Chinese line of "May you live in interesting times" is especially apt. And as many of you know, it's ironic because it does not necessarily mean that we're living in positive times, but we're certainly living in challenging times. And that is when character becomes so much more evident. And I can just tell you, as I think back on the last year and the character of this agency, I just want to say that I'm so proud of all that we've accomplished in difficult situations and how we've continued to move all of our projects forward. There was a line in the inauguration yesterday where the president, and I paraphrase, said, "Lead not by power," as an example, but by example as our power. And I think the staff at ESD has conducted themselves in the most exemplary way and has demonstrated what is the best that public service has to offer. So I offer that to all of my colleagues at ESD. And then on a personal note, I just wanted to say that, this year will be the 20th year of mine having been naturalized as a U.S. citizen. I'm an immigrant to the country. And one of the great things about this country has been the peaceful transition of power. And like many, I can assure you that I watched intently to make sure that now the former president got onto Marine One and then left the White House lawn. And, that showed, just a great difference between 2 weeks ago when we saw the bonds of democracy, I think, stretched to its lowest point, to this real point of fragility. And then yesterday rebounded and demonstrated the resilience of that democracy on display to the world. And I, like many others, I hope and I pray that the darkness that we've seen in our democracy has now given new and a bright light to a new chapter in American history. So with that, I will get to my report. Just a few announcements since our last meeting. First, in Western New York, we announced the grand opening of the expanded Mandela Market in Buffalo's East Side. The project was supported by the state's East Side Corridor Economic Development Fund and Buffalo Billion 2 initiative, and allows for an increase in fresh and prepared food options in a federally recognized food desert. The Mandela Market was established in 2007 by Ahmed Salah, an African immigrant who worked his way through business school. And that announcement, I think, was put out yesterday. Also, earlier this week in the Finger Lakes, New York State-based clean energy company Plug Power announced that it will establish its $125 million innovation center in Monroe County, creating 377 new jobs. This will be the world's first gigafactory for proton exchange membrane technology, and the company will use the facility to manufacture the hydrogen fuel cell stacks for its ProGen hydrogen fuel cell engines. By the way, I may be announcing this, but I will not be tested on their actual technology, I pray. And work on this facility is expected to begin in the first quarter of this year. Most importantly, is ESD is supporting this project with Excelsior Job Program tax credits. This project had been in the news for a long time as we went back and forth with the company. So kudos to the strategic business group who worked very hard on this. We were competing with Ohio. They were considered going to Ohio, and Greg Albert and Vinny Esposito just did a great job to ensure that they remained here in the state. So thanks to them, and thanks to Jeff Januszewski's group. So I also want to earlier this year, in fact, the end of last year, in the heart of Midtown Manhattan, Howard, Steve, and I, as well as Holly Light and Doug Carr, had the privilege of attending the grand opening for the Moynihan Train Hall. That was at the end of December. It actually opened on January 1st. And I think that there's no words that I could use to describe the magnificence of the train hall. And so what we'll do at the end of my remarks, we're going to do a video for the board members to get a chance to see that train hall. But really, and hats off to the governor who pushed us to make sure that it would open up at the beginning of the year and provide sort of a ray of hope and light to New York City, which I think it's done. But a big milestone. It was done on time and on budget. And that really involved the efforts of so many currently employed by ESD and those who worked for ESD in the past, a true public-private partnership. And there are just too many to thank. But just know that this was a great collective effort on behalf of so many. So we continue to battle COVID-19. Nothing has changed from 2020. Thankfully, vaccinations are underway in New York State. And it is a question now of not, whether, but how we start to rebuild the economy. And the governor outlined a number of initiatives in his State of the State that was conducted over a few-day period. All of this building on the momentum, certainly at ESD, generated from the opening of Moynihan Train Hall. So, for example, the governor announced plans to extend the High Line from Moynihan to 30th Street. Additionally, work will continue with our comprehensive multi-billion-dollar project to reconstruct the existing Penn Station add train capacity, acquire Penn South over time, expand the train track capacity by 40%, and create a revitalized, commercial-oriented, transit-oriented commercial district around Penn Station. The governor also announced a $130 million pandemic recovery and restoration program to support important parts of the economy, namely small business, restaurants, musical and theatrical productions, areas that have really suffered from COVID-19 and from being closed down. We will establish a $40 million infectious disease resiliency commercialization fund to fast track innovations and address emerging health threats. And then a number of other projects which the governor announced, mostly in terms of updates. Completion of the $1.2 million square foot Jacob Javits Center, which will increase capacity by 50%. That will open up in May of this year. Completion of Belmont Arena later this year in October. The opening of Legoland in Hudson Valley. Completion of more than half of Rock the Riverway project in Rochester. Groundbreaking for the Buffalo Skyway project, and completion of the Albany Skyway. So as you can see, there is lots that we will continue to accomplish this year on top of so much that we accomplished last year. Appreciate all of the hard work. I thank my fellow board members for their role over the past year and their continuing efforts to help guide this agency. And with their help, I know that we'll be able to build back better New York in a post-pandemic world. So I thank you. And with that, let's turn to the video so that the board members can see what's happening at Moynihan. And thank you.
While others talk about building new infrastructure, New York State is doing it. Today we're here at New York State's latest commitment to the future, Moynihan Train Hall. It's the first stage of the transformational Empire Station complex that will improve transportation, stimulate the local economy, and help move our great city and state forward.
When my father first proposed the Farley Post Office building as a new train station, everyone thought it was just a dream. So it really is a miracle for me to stand here and see the station come to life. We will have a train station that's worthy of New York.
In 1993, Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan championed a plan to repurpose Farley into a world-class train hall. Now, after decades of talk, bureaucratic infighting, and political posturing, it's here. Another testament to New York State's leadership and commitment to the future.
It's a huge architectural challenge. This building was built as a classical building, as a complement to the original Penn Station by the same architects, but built as a post office. Converting it into a train station is a huge leap. Now, once again, there's a great entrance to the city.
At 255,000 square feet, the new Moynihan Train Hall is larger than the main concourse at Grand Central Terminal. It houses Amtrak and Long Island Railroad platforms, along with state-of-the-art ticketing and comfortable waiting areas. And it features advanced high-tech security and simple, easy-to-follow wayfinding. Everything is designed for convenience, comfort, and safety. The new hall provides full accessibility to Long Island Railroad and Amtrak, allowing everyone to take full advantage of this new New York landmark. The iconic main hall skylight contains over 1 acre of glass and soars 92 feet high, providing radiant natural light that fills the concourse. This, along with world-class public art installations, including works by renowned artist Elmgreen and Dragset and Kehinde Wiley, inspires the spirit and makes for a breathtaking respite from the tensions of the day. Street access to the train hall will come from every direction with grand mid-block entrances on 33rd and 31st Street, with additional access both from the west through the retail plaza and from corner entrances from the east.
I mean, it's spectacular. Not only is it the transportation center, it involves commercial space, it involves restaurant food right in the middle of the great growing New West Side.
The Moynihan Train Hall will be an attraction and a destination, not only for travelers, but for the whole neighborhood.
Moynihan Train Hall is going to be the center of this extraordinary infrastructure system in the New York metropolitan region. To do something like this requires the public and the private sector to work together collaboratively to achieve a vision of this magnitude.
This incredible undertaking would not have been possible without a truly unique public-private partnership that included Empire State Development's private sector partners, Vornado and Related, the New York State Legislature, the MTA, the Port Authority, and Amtrak, all working together to create a transportation hub that will be recognized around the world for its beauty, convenience, technological advancements, and as a tribute to a magnificent historical design. And this is just the first step in fulfilling Governor Cuomo's broader vision for the Empire Station Complex. A complex which will integrate the new Moynihan Train Hall with a reimagined and expanded Penn Station, with up to 9 new tracks and 5 new platforms, all surrounded by a revitalized 21st century business district, becoming a source of great economic advancement and neighborhood pride. Today, you're here, visiting the past and the future. Welcome.
Great. Well, hopefully all the board members can see what a spectacular job was done on Moynihan Train Hall. And perhaps when guidelines change, we can also take you on a tour through the train hall. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Chairman Cohen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. And as anticipated, you did not disappoint. I've seen that video a few times, and I'm always startled when Steve Roth pops up with the lovely beard. I'm not sure what it's reminiscent of, but it gives him a sort of Henry Fonda the later year look. But Moynihan really is extraordinary, and I'd also like to point out, as Eric did, it really is a testament to ESD when you look at the number of projects that are in this state of the state that are really under the umbrella one way or another of ESD, and frankly under the guidance and leadership of Eric. So it is really impressive, and I think great things to come as we restore, revitalize, and rebuild the state and the economy. With that, I am happy to turn it over to Glendon to go over our project items if he's available. Glenn, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Good morning, Chairman, and good morning, directors. The directors will be requested to consider 10 projects totaling $6,278,945 in grants. The projects include 7 regional council awards and 4 discretionary awards. The project will take place in the Central New York, Western New York, New York City, North Country, Mohawk Valley, Capitol, Southern Tier, Long Island, and Finger Lakes regions, leverage over $36 million of additional investment, retain 40 jobs, and create 67 jobs in the state. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we now turn to Jim Fell, who will start off with a project from our Central New York region. Jim, whenever you're ready, please begin.
Well, thank you. Good morning. The directors are going to be asked to approve a $1 million DRI grant to Latrito Building LLC on a $6.7 million project. The project involved the renovation, redevelopment, and construction of a building in the heart of downtown Oswego on the corner of Bridge Street and West Street. This project involves 5 floors. The first floor will have 6,000 square foot of retail space, and above that, there'll be 20,000 square foot of residential, which includes 20 apartments. 10 of the apartments have already been rented. Another 5 are projected to be rented in March. Oswego is our first DRI community, and they received their award in 2016. This particular project started in April of 2019 and was completed in November of 2020. This is one of the last DRI projects for the city of Oswego. And I'll be glad to take any questions.
Any questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion with respect to item 2A on the agenda.
I move it.
Second.
Terrific. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition?
Aye.
The motion carries, and we are off to Amanda Mays, who will now present an item from the Western New York region.
Good morning. The directors are requested to approve $510,000 in grants from the Regional Council Capital Fund to the City of Buffalo for a portion of costs associated with their more than $10 million project to reconstruct Niagara Street from Porter Avenue to Niagara Square. ESD's funding includes a $350,000 grant from CFA Round 1 in conjunction with a later grant of $160,000 from CFA Round 2. The project, completed in May 2019, reconfigured a portion of a 4.5-mile corridor along the west side of Buffalo, with this section of the road being closest and adjacent to the central business district. Improvements converted Niagara Street into a multimodal corridor that serves pedestrians, bicyclists, transit and motor vehicles in a safe and functional manner by use of traffic calming, installation of bike lanes, ADA compliant ramps and improved crosswalks, replacement of existing signals, improved landscaping and lighting and amenities. In addition, the project incorporated green infrastructure responsible for stormwater management elements. Niagara Street is one of the city's major commercial corridors, a highly utilized public transit route, a growing target for private investment, a rising employment hub, and a gateway both to downtown Buffalo and to a vital international border crossing via the Peace Bridge. These improvements created a vibrant corridor that is attracting businesses and development, which in turn will encourage jobs, retail, and tourism growth, as well as benefits the corridor's residents. The project has leveraged over $15 million in public and private investments along this corridor, impacting Niagara Street's more than 277 businesses.
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, I think we are ready to entertain a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries, which takes us now to Joe Tazewell, who has an item from the New York City region, and I will simply note that I am recused from discussion and vote on this item. Joe, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The directors are requested to approve a $1 million grant to New York University in connection with the renovation of a 6,400 square foot space at 370 J Street in downtown Brooklyn. The space will be used by NYU's E-STEAM pipeline. E-STEAM stands for Entrepreneurship and Education, Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. And these programs are aimed at training K through 12 youth, students, and community members in critical skills needed for the innovation economy. The project was awarded in REDC Round 6 and advances several of the New York City Regional Council's priorities, including workforce development, the opportunity agenda, and supporting partnerships with higher education. The project, which has a cost of $6.4 million, will transform an old loading dock into a small-scale performance space, as well as the creation of a gallery space adjacent to the building's lobby. Both spaces are on the ground floor in a high pedestrian traffic area in downtown Brooklyn corridor, creating highly visible touch points for the community and NYU's academic programs. Programming for the NYU E-STEAM pipeline will incorporate a variety of NYU academic programs through public lectures, workshops, training sessions, after-school programming, and gallery exhibits. Examples of such programs include a NYU Game Center, which offers public programs, tournaments, and exhibitions to connect students to public game developers and the public. The Ability Project, which is focused on improving technology for those with disabilities, and NYU's Center for Urban Science and Progress's Citizen Science Center, which will facilitate neighborhood workshops and trainings to allow communities to talk about initiatives to improve their community through data and display technologies. By bridging the gap between academics and the community, eSTEAM will bring to life cutting-edge research occurring in the neighborhood and provide a physical space for community and NYU academics to interact. The project was completed in December. Thank you.
Any questions, comments?
Is it open now? I mean, I know it's completed. It's open now to the public, or because of COVID rules, it's still not open?
It's still not open, Eric. NYU is operating on a hybrid model at the current time, but this particular facility is not open yet.
Okay.
Any other questions? I will entertain a motion, and once again note that I will not be voting or participating.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion carries, and we move now to the North Country region and Steve Hunt, if you're available. Steve?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. I'm presenting one project in the North Country awarded through the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. The directors are being asked for approval of a $300,000 working capital grant to the city of Plattsburgh for employment of a firm to create and manage a request for proposals process for the redevelopment of the Durkee Street site in downtown Plattsburgh. Through this effort, a developer has been awarded the Durkee Street project bid, and it is working through the approvals process with local government agencies to construct a $22 million mixed-use project in downtown Plattsburgh. In addition to developing the RFP, the firm helped with project management, including but not limited to negotiations with the developer and city staff, a finalized development agreement, a completed environmental impact statement, and other preparatory activities. Plattsburgh was a round one DRI awardee. Durkee Street development was a cornerstone of the city's DRI application and also their downtown strategic plan. And I'm happy to entertain questions.
Any questions for Steve or comments about the project?
Is that the only project that they have for the DRI? Or have they done other projects?
Yes, they have done other projects, and this capital project is in the approvals process, but will result in a $22 million project. It is the most significant project that this is assisting with.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move it.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion carries. We now go to the Mohawk Valley region and Allison Nowak. You there, Allison?
I am. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. The directors are being asked to approve a regional council capital grant of $800,000 to be used as a portion of the cost of construction and renovation of the former Oneida National Bank into a food manufacturing facility and commercial space in downtown Utica. Primo Properties purchased and redeveloped the historic former Oneida National Bank into a food manufacturing facility totaling 6,500 square feet, commercial rental space totaling 26,500 square feet, and a restaurant, bar, and banquet space totaling 11,000 square feet. The new food manufacturing facility caters to small food service operations seeking co-packing services to manufacture property goods. They have exceeded their job goal, hiring 21 new employees. The commercial space offers unique build-to-suit suites with custom layouts on the ground level. The redevelopment of this historic building to house the new businesses and employees was a key priority in Utica's downtown revitalization plan. The total budget for the project is $5.5 million for construction and renovation, and ESD's participation in the project will be 15% of the project cost, $800,000. The project was completed in August of 2020. The project is consistent with the MBREDC's strategy to create vibrant communities by prioritizing downtown revitalization and development. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Allison? Any comments about the project? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Hearing none, the motion carries. And if I'm not mistaken, we now move to the Southern Tier region and Donna Howell. Have I got that right, Debbie?
Yes, sir.
Donna?
Hi there.
All yours.
All right, thanks. This morning we're requesting approval for a grant of up to $790,000. And this is for the construction and renovation of the Ithaca Community Child Care Center, which is referred to as IC3. They have a new building and will add 7,375 square feet of space, which will include 4 classrooms, another support space, which will expand capacity at the center. It does address a critical shortfall in affordable childcare in the Ithaca area. And by adding up to 100 childcare slots, this project also enables more parents to gain and maintain employment and increases the local employment base. This project was supported through round 8 in 2018 of the council awards, and is consistent with our plan to invest in the region's workforce, as well as the state's strategy of workforce development by supporting efforts to address the needs of workers. And it will be complete next month in February 2021. And then our second project is Beer Tree Brew Works. We're requesting approval for a grant of up to $340,000, which is for construction or for machinery and equipment for Beer Tree Brew Works Inc. to expand their production operations. It will renovate a 20,000 square foot area in Oakdale Mall, which is in Johnson City, and it includes a microbrewery, canning and distribution center, including a 12,000 square foot manufacturing area. So it's located in a former department store, so it also makes really creative use of that vacant space in our local mall. And it was supported through round 9 of the REDC awards and is consistent with our regional plan to grow the food and ag industry by expanding manufacturing and distribution and also increasing the demand for New York state-grown hops. It's aligned with the state's strategy of placemaking by investing in the region's existing assets. And it was complete in December of 2020. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions, comments?
Did you say that the daycare was completed or is under construction now?
Almost. It's under construction. It'll be done next month.
You know, that's a great project because the need for childcare, it's really outstanding. There has been a lot of centers that have had to close, and getting people back to work, that's going to be key. Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion.
Move it.
Is there a second? Terrific. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone in opposition?
Aye.
Hearing no opposition, the motion carries. And we move on to Kara Longworth from our Long Island region. Kara, come in.
Good morning, Chairman. Happy New Year to all the directors. We're asking the directors to approve a regional council capital grant of up to $500,000 to the Family Service League, Inc. to pay for a portion of construction and renovations and equipment for its health and wellness center located in Bay Shore, Suffolk County. This project is complete for a total project cost of just over $5.6 million. The Family Service League is a not-for-profit founded in 1926 as a grassroots social service agency. Its mission is to help the most vulnerable populations mobilize their strengths to improve their lives. Currently, it has 20 locations and runs 60 social service programs that serves about 50,000 people. It also employs 739 people. This project was a round 5 priority project for the Long Island Regional Council. This new 14,000 square foot wellness center is a partnership with the Family Service League and Southside Hospital's Northwell Health, aims to provide community-based medical care to the and care management services to Bay Shore and the surrounding high needs areas, including Brentwood and Wyandanch. The Family Service League recognized that there was a need for medical care in these areas and that its clients had little access to primary medical care or specialty care such as cardiology, orthopedics, or neurology, and they relied mostly on ER visits for their health care. So this health and wellness center will provide clients with that health care. And while they're there, they also hope to integrate their existing clients and their new clients in these underserved high-need areas with employment assistance and workforce development programs. The project is complete, and they've committed to create 22 jobs, and to date they have created 8 of those 22 jobs. So they are eligible for their first installment of this grant. This project is consistent with the Regional Council's plans to assist in underserved communities, its opportunity agenda, and its workforce development strategies. I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions, comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. We now move to the Restore New York Communities Capital grant items, which will be presented by Simone Bethune. Simone, please begin whenever you are ready.
Thank you,
Simone,
Mr. Chairman.
just 1 second. Someone who's on the line is, if you could just mute your microphone, because we can hear typing going on as the meeting is going. I don't think it's any of the directors. It may just be someone who's joined the call. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. We will be seeking director's approval for 2 Restore New York grants today. The first is a $700,000 Round 5 grant to the village of Geneseo in the Finger Lakes region for renovations to the poorhouse, one of 3 brick buildings that once served as the Livingston County Home, an institution for the poor and mentally ill. The building has never been used for any other purpose and has remained vacant and derelict for over 50 years, since it closed in 1964. In December 2020, the village completed the approximately $1.2 million project, converting the building into a multi-tenant commercial space that includes a microbrewery, restaurant, bar, event, and banquet space with additional spaces to rent for business and mercantile use. The newly renovated building will enhance the economic viability of existing businesses in the district and attract new businesses, jobs, and visitors. In addition, the establishment of the craft brewery will result in the creation of 14 new jobs, 11 of which will be available to low and moderate income persons. The second item is a $338,945 Round 5 grant to the City of Plattsburgh in the North Country region for asbestos abatement and demolition of 5 out of 6 buildings totaling 17,391 square feet to prepare the site for future development. The project, which was completed in March 2020 at a cost of approximately $400,000, complemented Plattsburgh's larger planned development of the city's historic Dock Street waterfront site that will connect residents and visitors with the city's historic core. The demolition of these structures and site preparation will allow the city to strengthen the core of its downtown and advance catalytic development projects that are currently outlined for the site in local planning documents. And I can take any questions.
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Hearing none, the motion carries. We next have a New York Ventures investment item, which will be presented by Clayton Besh. Clayton, are you ready?
I am. Good morning. Thank you. New York Ventures would like to ask the board for authorization for the New York State Innovation Venture Capital Fund to invest up to $500,000 in ENB Therapeutics' bridge convertible note of $2.5 million, with the other current investors already committed to the remaining $2 million. ENB Therapeutics is a minority and women-led New York City-based biotechnology company that is developing a therapeutic that reverses resistance to cancer immunotherapy. Approximately 60% of the patients treated with immunotherapy fail to respond to treatment for their cancer challenges and are left with few other therapeutic options. ENB's drug can help unlock the full therapeutic potential of cancer immunotherapy by enabling key immune cells to attack tumors, thereby eradicating tumor cells and prolonging patient survival. The bridge is to fund the continued gathering of additional data from clinical trials in collaboration with Merck Pharmaceutical to assess the safety and efficacy of their molecule in drug-resistant melanoma, ovarian, and pancreatic cancer patients. This data will trigger the raise of a Series B in Q2 of 2021 to launch their phase 2 research. Are there any questions?
It's what are the terms on the convertible note? Is it a discount to the next round?
Yes, it's a 20% discount to the next round.
And how much is in the total on the convertible note again?
A total of $2.5 million.
And how long does that last the company?
2 years. That lasts until the end of, the beginning of 2022.
Okay. And is the trials are with Merck?
That's correct.
Is Merck putting any money into the convertible note?
Not in the convertible note, into the next round.
They'll put money in the Series B, assuming that it works.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion.
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposition? In which case the motion carries, and we are ready to turn things over to Kevin Eunice, who will provide a summary of administrative actions on today's agenda. Kevin, all yours.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Directors. We have one administrative item for your consideration today. The corporation is seeking an authorization to amend its contract with Bryant Rubino LLP to continue to provide legal services through September 2021 in connection with the disposition of the portion of the Bronx Psychiatric Center. Now, as you may recall, the Bronx Psychiatric Center project involves the disposition and redevelopment of an approximately 33-acre portion of the Bronx Psych campus located in Morris Park section of the Bronx. The requested amendment is an increase of $150,000, bringing the new total contract value to $650,000, and the amended contract will continue to be paid from an impressed account funded by the project developer. Thank you.
Questions?
How long is that contract?
This will be through September of this year.
Oh, and then we have to reapprove again?
I think we expect for the closing to be completed this summer, and then
okay.
So probably the contract will end at that point.
Got you. Yes.
Anyone else? In which case, I will entertain a motion.
Move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposition? The motion carries, and unless I am mistaken, I think that is our business for this meeting. So I assume that we are all in favor of adjourning.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Terrific. Thank you all for your time and your insights and your thought and your participation. I will see you next time, if not sooner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.